Hi everyone. Pastor Del here, Dr. Del here. Continuation on the topic compatibility. Today I want us to look at emotional compatibility. I think we've looked at intellectual compatibility and financial compatibility. Check out for my videos on YouTube and other social platforms. But today, emotional compatibility. Before getting married to someone, are you emotionally compatible? What are emotions? Emotions are feelings. Human beings have emotions. Research shows that women have more emotions than men. Women experience more emotions than men, even negative emotions. Women experience 16% emotional feelings, whilst men only 14%. So human beings have emotions. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad, sometimes we're discouraged, sometimes we're disappointed, sometimes we're anxious, sometimes we're expectant, sometimes people let us down. So human beings have emotions. However, we have to be careful. We have to try and control our emotions. We have to try and do what it takes so we do not suffer from anxiety. So what is emotional compatibility? It deals with two partners' ability to connect emotionally. Normally, women want to connect emotionally first before they connect with you physically. They feel as though you understand them, you produce certain feelings in them. They feel as though you get them before they can normally give themselves emotionally to you. That's a feminine woman or woman that is not involved in prostitution, that kind of thing. So what is emotional compatibility? The ability to connect and with each other's feelings, needs, and perspectives. It is the ability to understand each other, how each other is feeling. Not to necessarily criticize, because one of the problems with emotional compatibility is one party can come home, oh, I'm feeling disappointed, I'm feeling that. They want you to understand with them. They want you to empathize with them. However, what some people do is instead of empathizing, they criticize. So then your spouse might not want to come up to you and share their emotions with you because they feel you're going to criticize them and not understand them. So before you marry someone, does the person understand how you feel? Does the person empathize with how you feel? Do you feel connected with them emotionally, or is it just a money thing, or the marriage is out of desperation, or maybe they want papers, or the out of validation, or they're marrying to get acceptance? What is the motive of the marriage? Is it love? Is there emotional connection? Is there emotional compatibility? So let me look at 10 signs to show that people lack emotional compatibility. Number one, the silent treatment. You're dating someone. Instead of communicating, no communication, there's frequent silent treatment. What is going to happen after you marry if there's a lot of silent treatment? Also, communication. A lack of communication shows you're not really emotionally compatible. You cannot really share your emotions and your feelings, or you do not feel safe. If I share it with this person, what would happen? Would they lose respect for me? Some men are scared to share their emotions with their women because they worry they might lose respect for them, so they only share it with their friends. What do you think about that? Some women to only share their emotions with their friends. This man, he doesn't understand. But also remember, men are less emotional. Men are more logical. Number two, lack of communication shows you're not really emotionally compatible. It's a sign. Frequent misunderstanding. Every couple might go through occasional misunderstanding once a week, but frequent misunderstanding shows you're not really. It shows that there could be a lack of emotional compatibility. You don't really understand each other. You don't really get each other, how each other is feeling. You don't really understand each other's mindset or the background you came from. Number four, a lack of emotional safety. As I said earlier, some people need to feel emotionally safe to share their problems with you or to share how they're feeling with you. They have to feel safe. You're not going to expose them. You're not going to criticize them. You're not going to use it against them. So a lack of emotional safety is a sign of emotional incompatibility. Also, constant need for validation. If someone is always wants validation from you, it could be that they never got validation as children, but it could be a lack of emotional compatibility. Some occasional validation, but if they always want you to validate them, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? It will show that your emotions are not really aligned. One person is more needy than the other person. One person wants to be maybe spend some time with you, be on their own, whilst the other person always wants to be with you, always wants to know what you think. They lack confidence in their decision making. Also, number six, handling conflicts before marriage. Do you have the ability to handle conflicts? We disagree on something. Occasionally you sit down, what do you think about this? What is your perspective? You discuss. Inability to handle conflicts is a sign, that is one sign of a lack of emotional compatibility. Also, as I said earlier, one or both people, the lack of empathy. If your spouse is always criticizing you, they never show understanding, they never show empathy, that could be a lack of emotional compatibility. You need to find someone else that shows empathy, that shows some amount of understanding, that sometimes shows understanding with what you're going through. Not just, no, the moment you say, I felt this way, they dismiss it, they criticize you. You're not a man, you should be strong, or you this woman, you're too emotional. Me, I don't like that. No. There needs to be a small amount of empathy, especially if you're not yet married. The person you're with needs to show empathy. They need to show understanding. They need to show they're a suitable helpmate. Oh, I've been called to be a pastor. No, I don't want to be a pastor's wife. Oh, I would like to do business. No, me, I don't want to do business. Oh, I would like you to help me work part-time whilst I work full-time. No, it shows that level of misunderstanding. You both want different things. It also shows a lack of emotional compatibility. Emotionally, you're not really compatible. It also even shows that your values are different. Always feeling drained. If you're in a relationship and you're always feeling drained and tired, whenever you're with your spouse, they drain you, they criticize you, they put you down, they're always pointing at your faults, they never see anything good in you. Occasionally they can point at your faults, but not always. If you're always feeling drained, that's also a sign of emotional incompatibility. If you have different humor, different comedy, you both find different things different, that could be a sign of emotionally you're incompatible. Also, your way of thinking and your values are different. Also, emotional disconnection. You're in a relationship, but you feel lonely. You don't feel as though this person is a companion. You don't have common interests. You cannot talk about things. You cannot talk about how you feel about certain things, how you feel about certain situations. That is emotional disconnection. That is a sign of a lack of emotional compatibility. So I hope you've been blessed by this. Remember, Jesus was a man. He had compassion on the multitude. He wept. There's a scripture that says Jesus wept. So Jesus had emotions. Human beings have emotions. Even though men are logical, they still have emotions. If men go through a breakup, they feel pain. Men are not expected to talk about how they feel, but men also feel pain. So ladies, understand, a man is meant to be strong, I accept, mentally, physically, in various ways. But we also have emotions. Women have more emotions than men, even more negative emotions. So human beings have emotions. So let us try to understand people sometimes. Let us try to empathize with people sometimes. Let us try to emotionally connect. If there's no empathy, there is no understanding, you always feel drained, someone always criticizes you, these are signs that you lack emotional compatibility. If you go into marriage, you're likely to be going into an unhappy marriage because you do not feel understood, you do not feel loved, you do not feel acknowledged. So I hope you've enjoyed this short message. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please follow, please repost. Thank you.